Hey guys, how's it going? CoderMan here. As you may not know, I have the same intro for every single one of my videos. So I'm thinking of maybe switching it up. We're going to talk about the M3, which you can see is right here, and why I probably should have sold it. And then I also answer your questions from Instagram. If you're not following me, be sure to do that. Ask me any questions. I either answer them on Instagram or put them in a video like this. So what exactly is wrong with the M3? Well, first off, it has just under 80,000 miles, and it's run like a top ever since I bought it back in, what was it, 2014? And so I've had it just over 5 years. I'll be doing a 5-year review, excluding what's currently happening because that's not the norm. But what ended up happening is I ended up doing the oil change and sent off the Blackstone analysis, so I'll wait to hear back on that with the rod bearings. But I also had some ticking. When I was doing the throttle actuators, I actually could kind of hear it a little bit more because I had the hood up, and unfortunately it really started to get louder. So car has actually not run for just about a week now, and I'm sending it to my guy the beginning of next week in hopes that it's maybe a timing chain or lifter tick, something that is not catastrophic. But I'm definitely going to keep you guys updated. But as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I had this car for sale. It was running perfectly. I was going to move on to another car. Instead, my wife and I decided to do something completely different, and I'm actually going to be talking about that in next week's video. I will say one thing, it's a new business venture that her and I are doing. A couple of you guys know, please do not leave a comment below and say what it is. I want to actually explain the whole thing and not just like a quick hit, oh, here's what we're doing. There is a reason for it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So it sucks to see this sitting here, and as you can see behind it, my wife's car, which is my daily right now. Unfortunately, what it is basically on, actually I can open the hood, but basically on that side and on that side, both banks, you can hear a ticking where the valve cover is. Not really sure what it is. M3 forums say that it's nothing, it's just how the car sounds. But I've had this car for 5 years and it's never sounded like that. So, at the end of the day, I'm not gonna risk it. I'm actually just gonna have AAA tow this next week and bring it to my guy and have him just basically go through it. I was actually about to do a compression test and a leak down test, which is still gonna be happening as long as the engine gets a clean bill of health from the mechanic next week. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm glad I didn't sell it, but it seems like it's gonna be an expensive maybe couple of weeks or months to get this back running. I am doing the Mission 22 rally in July. I'll put a link in the description for that if you're not aware of that. You're in the area, you want to join. It's an awesome rally for Mission 22 charity. We raise money for veteran suicide and just raise awareness for that and just have fun with cars. We actually do 2 track days and it's a 3-day weekend. So hopefully this is running and I can obviously hit the road and have a good old time with it. So believe it or not, even though it's April, I'm still on the winter tires and the winter wheels, which you can see this season. Let me bump this up a little. You can see that winter has definitely wreaked havoc. So what's going to happen is that these wheels here are now going to just become winter wheels, winter wheel and tire setup, and I'm going to be ordering another set of wheels. Not 100% sure what those are going to be just yet, but they're definitely going to be different than these, and quite possibly going to be black. So I was going back and forth on the black with the gray, and honestly the only bit of chrome that actually, now that I'm seeing it, is the roundel. Everything else on the car is the shadow trim. I actually did this, which is the I&D kidney grills, and then I have, the I&D side markers. So I think it'll look well with the black. Go ahead and leave your comment below if you think that that's going to look good, or you have another idea. My ultimate wheel setup would be the BBS FI. Unfortunately, I'm not spending $8 grand on wheels, so maybe in another lifetime. So I'd actually planned to do the Q&A portion out here. It's a beautiful day, but one thing about this Sony camera that I do not like is its battery life is crap, and I'm about 2% battery. So I'm gonna go ahead and get inside, charge up the battery, and then we'll do the Q&A in the office. So I'll see you guys in just a second. All right, welcome back to the video. I'm now in the office, which you can clearly see behind me. And I have here just some questions that people have asked me on Instagram, which if you're not following me, please do. And I always do these, kind of AMAs. So, I always like answering questions. So that's what we're gonna do. So let's jump right into it. So first question, have you ever been kicked out of a supercar meet? Kicked out of, not exactly. I have been asked to turn off my exhaust when I had the full IPF1 exhaust. I have been in instances where we've come in kind of loud with a whole bunch of supercars and been asked to, quiet it down. But I think the closest to ever being kicked, and it wasn't a supercar meet, but the closest to being kicked out would actually be a kind of an impromptu meetup at a Jordan's Furniture where people were doing burnouts and running ATVs, and it was long before I was doing YouTube, so I have absolutely no video of it. But what ended up happening is the police actually ended up showing up. It was private property, so they couldn't ask us to leave, but they were basically just waiting at, it was like the bottom of the hill for us to leave. So of course, when people got wind that the cops were there, everyone took off. Next question is, what's the next mod on the M3? If this was asked a week ago, I would say I'd probably do wheels or something with the engine. However, because I mentioned at the beginning of this video that it's not running well, the next mod is most likely something to do with the engine in the way of like a chain or something like that. Not really a mod, but really need to get it running. Outside of that, it's going to be wheels. Someone asked, what is my next gun? Well, for those who don't know, I am a firearms aficionado. I've had my license for many years. I have a couple of guns. My wife and I like to go shooting. It's quite a lot of fun. I do it with a lot of my friends. My next gun is actually going to be a 1911, and it's going to actually be pretty special, unique, and actually tied in with a channel. So wait till you see what exactly that's going to be. What is going to be my next car? This is a tough question because I am looking for a daily so that I can have more fun with the M3 and not have to rely on my wife's SUV, which of course means I have to drive her to and from work. But my next car, it's probably going to be a truck. I know, super exciting. Probably going to buy something that I can't mod or just have no desire to mod, because that's the last thing I need is more things to mod. But outside of that, not really sure what my next actual toy car is going to be, because I really want to get the M3 running. I really want to have some more fun with it. The M3 is a great all-around car, and to move up to that next bracket is like 70, 80, 100,000. And I'm just not there right now. So, we're gonna wait and see what comes next. This is actually a really great question. Is YouTube worth it? Well, that really depends on what you wanna do with it. If you're trying to make thousands of dollars a month and you have a tiny channel, probably not gonna happen. You can do sponsorships, and I've touched on this before. I actually don't do anything with sponsorships. Anything that I mention, product or service or anything of the kind, is my personal recommendation. I'm not told to say one way or the other. If I come on and say, buy an iPhone, this is amazing. If they sent me this phone, I'm gonna tell you guys that they sent me this phone. So everything I do is transparent, and this would be no different. All right, let's see, what else? A couple of funny comments here. Not really questions, but just, comments in general on my car, saying I had it too long, and just some funny things like that. Let's see, what else do we have? Are you still doing anything with cryptocurrency? Yes, I do still hold cryptocurrency. I don't mine it if I were to spin the camera around, although I can't because this thing's set up perfectly for this shot. I have my miner over there. It's been turned off for over a year. It's just not cost effective anymore. I do still hold it. I don't trade it. I just basically just kind of hold it and see what it does. Right now it's kind of rising, so we'll see how that goes. All right, and the last question is actually really funny. How did the durian smell? All right, for those who don't know, I was part of a durian challenge, and by part, I mean I was invited over and was basically just filming it and just having a good old time. It was at Big Money Cars, and he has some numbers after his name. I'll put a link in the description to his Instagram. He was basically tasked with eating durian, which is like the most repulsive fruit on the planet. As soon as you open, it smells horrific. I don't even know what exactly it is it smells like. It just smells disgusting. It stayed in the room. It was kind of like that low air smell where it just lingered on the table for far too long. And believe it or not, the shoes I was wearing, of all things, the bottom of the floor, the shoes I was wearing, I had to leave outside overnight to let them air out. Everything in my clothes smelled fine, but those shoes just smelled horrible. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this question and answer session. If you have any additional questions, definitely leave a comment below. I'll definitely keep you guys posted on the M3. Hopefully it's going to be up and running soon and we can continue on with the next plans. Like I said, I'll be getting wheels soon, so I'll definitely be documenting that. And then of course the weather is getting nicer and I'll be out actually doing car stuff, not just sitting in an office, not just standing outside in front of my car. So as always, I appreciate you guys checking out this video. Please subscribe if you're new here. Comment if you have any questions. Please like this video, it really helps me, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.